Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Jennifer Freed, and we are in the show In Your Element, a show that highlights leaders in their fields. And through asking them questions in the elements, we're going to grow to love them more. Today, I have Drea Wheeler, who is one of my favorite all-time humans, but also happens to be an incredible celebrity fitness trainer, CBS survivor, a woman of many talents, and mostly she has the biggest heart on earth. Do you want to say anything about where folks can find you?
Anyone can find me on my website, DreaWheeler.com, where I have a massive library of my classes, personal training options, all virtual. So you can work out whenever, anywhere, anytime. And on Instagram, I'm always on Instagram. So find me on Instagram, Drea_Wheeler.
Well, basically, you're everywhere. All right, let's just get right into the questions. And I'm going to mention what element they represent. So the first is fire. What fuels your inner fire?
Creativity fuels my inner fire. In all forms. It could be creativity in my personal life and my work life and just any and everything. It just feels me like none other, and I get creative vibes or feelings in those random places, I have to say. So
Random is good.
So that by far fuels my fire for sure.
Okay. And how do you, Earth question, stay grounded?
I stay grounded through my charity work.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And what is a core principle or guiding idea of your life?
Never judge a book by its cover.
I really like that one.
You don't know what anyone's going through, inner issues that they're having right now. Never judge anyone. Like perception is everything, and I always just like to have conversations with people. I do not judge by the cover.
Okay. Well, in your case, you're so gorgeous. We could judge you by your cover and also get to know you. Okay, water. What opens your heart?
What opens my heart? Children. I know that sounds really odd, but I find that children and I like having conversations with children. I find that their perception of the world and life just opens my heart tenfold. Whenever I'm down, I call my nieces.
I like that. A niece call for the heart.
Yes.
Drea, this is fire. What outrages you? What outrages?
Inequality pisses me off. It makes me so mad on so many levels. It just angers me if I see that there's inequality and discrimination on all fronts. It infuriates me. Since I was a kid, my mom said that I would see someone being treated wrong, or maybe someone who lacked certain means, and I would find a way to help them get those means, or I speak out for them. So inequality, discrimination towards others, that infuriates me like none other.
That's good, because the next question is Earth. What calms you down?
Finding a solution or a resolution for that. Pretty much.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, here's one for air. Who or what do you read or listen to for your own inspiration? Like what thought leaders or people do you pay attention to for your own inspiration?
I don't pay attention to certain people. This was a good question and really made me think about it. I really just search for the right resources that will lead me in a direction to find a solution. And it has to speak to me. It has to be grounded. So that's a difficult question for me to answer. It's more about the energy of like a source and how I can find my end goal there.
That makes perfect sense to me. What makes you cry?
People who are hurt. Pain makes me cry in all forms, aspects, any way. It could be someone who's emotionally in pain, someone who's physically in pain, someone who has just gone through a loss like that. It really does make me cry. I was just crying watching a show called The Midwife, and it was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't watch that show because it makes me cry too much.
Every episode.
But it's a brilliant show. Okay, next question. How do you approach things that you're super scared of? That's a fire question. Courage.
I have a problem with that because sometimes I avoid it, and it takes me a little while to tap into that fear. So most of the time, I just try to tell myself that what's the worst case that would happen. So let's say I have a fear of snakes, and before going on Survivor, I would introduce snakes into like my day to day, like just seeing a snake on television, seeing a snake on, and what's the worst that can happen? I get bit by one, I could die. But so I guess for me, it's more like introducing it into my life. It could be someone or a conversation that I'm afraid to have. I always think about everything that could come out of that conversation, and the anxiety of not having that conversation. It's actually causing more pain to me. So I'd rather have this conversation and figure out where we're going here. So
So I do that too. It's called catastrophizing. You make it so bad, and then you manage that fear. So now you can just get down to the first step. Yeah,
yes.
that's good. Yeah, yes. Okay. So next question is, what would have been your financial advice to you at 16? Earth.
That you're probably going to lose everything, and that's okay, because you have the drive and the will and the passion to rebuild yourself better than ever.
Wow, that's great advice for any young person. You may lose it all because you're a risk taker, but you've got everything you need to make it back. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you tap into your best creative ideas? That's an air thing, but like, how do you get there?
Meditation.
Simple.
Yeah, it really is. And not meditation. I have my own form of like Drea meditation, I call it. I'll literally just like have like a calm space, and I just visualize where I see certain things, and I just meditate on that and how it can like come to fruition.
Okay, excellent. Now, when are you most in flow? Water is always about flowing and just moving with. When are you most in flow?
When it doesn't feel like work. When I wake up and I'm like, yes, yes. When my initial reply is yes, I know that that's going to be something that's going to make me flow and feel good. Whenever I feel like something is a no, but I still say yes because it's just like I never feel like there's a flow in there. So it has to flow. It has to be a yes. A yes makes me flow in everything.
One of my teachers, Courtney, says, in order to really be in the flow of life, you have to have a whole body yes. And if you don't have a whole body yes, then you've got to figure out, make it a whole body yes or get out. So that's
yes.
Okay. Last set of questions. Fire. What's been your most adventurous journey? Well, given that you've been on Survivor, I don't know how you beat that, but let's say separate from being on Survivor.
Separate from being on Survivor, the most adventurous journey I think I've ever had was packing up my entire house and moving to Europe for 6 months.
Wow.
With my husband. Yeah. And
what country did you move to?
We lived in Netherlands. So in Haarlem outside of Amsterdam. And I was so afraid of it. Like I go to Europe all the time, but actually packing up and moving there was that was the most adventurous time of my life. And I do it again in a heartbeat.
Excellent. Okay. And then the earth question. What has been the hardest thing you've had to do? Like so far in this life, hardest.
Bankrupt my business.
Okay.
Yeah.
You chose that in a sense because you knew that you had something better ahead, but it was the hardest thing.
It was the hardest thing, and not starting something on again, like right away.
Yeah.
Like having to take that time to actually like think about and like prepare myself for the next
Yeah.
next move. By far the hardest thing.
Well, that's
But
all.
the best thing that ever happened to me.
Clearly, because you're a major superstar. But here's the thing, Earth is about patience and resilience. So you made one of the hardest decisions ever, but then you didn't rush. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, next, what are the top qualities? Let's just say 2 or 3 of your truest friends.
Loyalty, honesty, and empathy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I can live up to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Last question. When you say, I love you, what do you really mean?
You're my person.
Oh.
You're my people. I don't say I love you to anyone. So like if I say I love you, my best friends, like they say I love you to everyone, and it annoys me because I mean it. It comes to meaning. Like if I say I love you, you're my person. I've got you. Ups, downs, anything, like I'm here for you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you do run deep, and I love that about you. So I want to let people know this is the show In Your Element. If you all want to be way more in your element, you can pre-order my new book, A Map to Your Soul, at jenniferfreed.com. I really want to thank Drea because I met you in a social occasion and almost instantly I fell in love. And I'm not saying that lightly, but like in a soul way. And I'll follow you anywhere, for real.
Same. I need to come visit you. I miss you. I miss your hugs.
You're going to get them.